ladies and gents, everything between outside of it. I'm Sophia and welcome back to a new video. I feel like the background looks really blank and it looks kind of boring. Today we're gonna do something that is literally super popular for some reason. I'm gonna show you some books to get you out of a reading slump. I did this on my channel in like June or July, and it is my most watched video. I am not joking. I genuinely did this because I thought it was kind of a trend and I didn't think it was going to do like great or anything. I just thought it was going to do pretty good. I didn't expect it to do better than like readathons or whatever. So that caught me kind of off guard. I do have a lot more books this time because I've read a lot more. I have one repeat though, but I think that's fair. Not all these books are going to be physical. I do have a few that I read on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited and you need some Kindle Unlimited recommendations, then that's also really good. I do want to start off, I don't think that all of these are 5 stars and these are immaculate and great. I just think these are really good for if you're kind of, you know, stuck and you don't really know what to read and like you're kind of in a slump and you just don't, you're kind of just sick of it and you really just want to get out of it, and it's obviously also just a book recommendation video. I talked already about the fine print in my other video, but now I'm going to talk about terms and conditions, but obviously it's the second part in the series, so you have to read the first book before. But a lot of people actually like the fine print more than terms and conditions. I actually had the opposite. I don't know why, but I think, so this one is a like Grumpy Sunshine, you know, that type of thing. He's her boss, and this is Marriage of Convenience, and the two tropes that I love is fake dating and marriage of convenience, so I think that's also why I like this one more. Yeah, I just want to recommend this because the thing is, I don't know what Lauren Asher puts in these books, but it just goes by so quickly. Like, I don't know, it's just to eat up. And in both of these books you get dual point of view, so it's kind of like it switches up, and I think in majority of these books that I'm going to show you, you get multiple point of views, and I think that helps a lot because it switches things up. And when you're like bored and you're like in a reading slump, like I feel like you're often a bit bored, so I feel like you need to constantly have like a switch. It's like literally what I need for my ADHD brain. Like I just need constant change. So like in a book, it's really good if there's constantly almost something happening, otherwise I get bored. This is funny because it's not a repeat, but it's a repeat of an author. So in the first video, I talked about in the first video I talked about the love hypothesis, and I'm going to talk about love in the brain. So it's the same author, Ali Hazelwood, and she just writes like woman in STEM, and the way that she writes, it's just so captivating. Big word. It's like one of my favorite forms of writing. Like her writing, it just does something to me. It's so easy. Every time that she releases anything, I always want to immediately read it because I know I'll get through it, and it's so easy to read. This one just has her point of view. She gets offered to be the lead on a neuroengineering project at NASA, and that's like her dream come true and everything, but then she has to work with her nemesis, and I don't know, it's like an enemies to lovers workplace, but it's not like a, oh my god, I hate you so much, like I don't know, it's like a history thing. The next read is The Kiss Quotient. This actually took me so long to figure out how to say this, but what I really liked about this book is that the main character, she has Asperger's syndrome, which is a form of autism, I think. As a woman on the spectrum herself, it was really interesting to get a book about it and to see, you know, the representation, and I think it was really well done. But what I really liked about this is that obviously it's a bit more steamy because it's like this girl, like she's autistic and like she wants to kind of like learn how to be good at sex, so she hires an escort to teach her how to be good at sex and relationships and stuff. But it's like a bit more like spicy, and I feel like anything spicy will get you going really quickly, because I do notice that with books like that, then you're just like intrigued to kind of like find out and see what's gonna happen. So in terms of like the spicy part, so I feel like if that's like kind of your jam, then this is definitely for you. And it's just really cute and actually quite sad, but I got through this like relatively quickly. It's just because it's like such a short book as well. I think majority of these are relatively short except for 2. This one you're also not going to be surprised. I feel like everyone is saying this. Twisted Love. So I already have the rest of the series. I just need to finish the rest of the series. But the series is spicy, so if you're just putting that out there, if you don't like that, then maybe don't. I feel like all of these recommendations of romance do have quite a good amount of spice in it, because that's just my taste. It's about like the brother's best friend, and he's very overprotective and he's a little bit crazy. I ate this up actually really quickly. I mean, I also read it for like a reading vlog, but it was just really good. As you can see, I tried to tab it, but like with me tabbing, I eventually like kind of give up. And it starts off pretty strong, because it starts off with her being kind of stranded and he's coming to pick her up. So then you're like, who is this mystery man? The next book is The Roommate. So this is full of spice, so just putting that out there, because it's about a girl and her boyfriend just moved out, so she's just getting a roommate. And this roommate is a porn star. And she's never like orgasmed, so he's showing her how to have a good time basically, and how to be good at sex as well. But like she's also helping him with like his whole porn industry, because like obviously porn is like not a great industry to be in, because it's not always really fair. And this is again like a really short book, so you get through it really quickly. I'm not sure, I think this is like third person, but like you get both of their, it has a name, but like it's like third person, but you kind of get like both of their perspectives in a bit. And yeah, it starts off with her just like her boyfriend just like leaving, and she's just like, what the fuck. So like that's like a gripping beginning in my opinion. Then this book I read not too recently, which is Booked on a Feeling. It's another really short book, but it's just about this lawyer. Like she's a lawyer and she's kind of having trouble at work. She's not feeling it, so she decides to take a 3-week holiday to her childhood best friend's town, and he has a massive crush on her, and we know that from the beginning. It's like third point of view, but you kind of get both of their like perspectives. But this one's really cute, and basically she lives like above a bookstore, and they also like renovate the bookstore together and everything. I just had a lot of fun with this. This smut in this is actually it's tame. It's doable. I'm just gonna first do all my physical books, and then we're gonna move on to the ones that I read on my Kindle. So the first one I already kind of talked about in, I talked about the series in my other video, and that's the Helen series. So I just grabbed a random book. This is the most recent one I read. It's the second one, but it's like a really good series. It's about this detective inspector called Helen Grace, and I've read 3 books now. Every single one is genuinely insane. Like all the cases feel like you're watching the most insane TV show. I read this like super quickly. I read the first one super quickly, even though these are they're chunks. That's like the only negative bit, because you get through them so quickly. It's like fine, but yeah, all these cases are genuinely just insane. And what also is interesting, so it's told also from I think it's from like third person, but every single chapter is like somebody else's point of view. So it could be like a literal random woman witnessing the crime on the street. It could be the victim, it could be the killer, like anything like that, or like the abductor, depends on the case. And obviously you also get like different perspectives from different police officers and detectives and stuff. I can't believe I didn't talk about this in my other video, but that is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I believe I didn't talk about it, but that's genuinely like discrimination, because this is such a good series. So this is a trilogy, and all the books are so good, and you speed through them, you fly through them. This is still one of my favorite series I've ever read. I have just such a connection to it that I don't know what I would do without it, and I feel like this is a series that should just be always continuing. But yeah, it's about this girl that has a school project, and she decides to investigate a case that happened in her town, even though it's closed, but she doesn't believe that that's actually what happened. What I also really like about this is that there's like little parts, like you get like little interviews, and like you actually see like the evidence and stuff. Like there's like pictures and like drawings and like different fonts for different things, and like I don't know, I love when there's like a bit of a change up. I love when they do that in YA. It's just like so good. Like why don't we do that more in like normal books? But you can see the pile forming behind me. And then the last physical book is a bit of a longer one, but this is one of the girls. I read this in Greece, and I finished this in literally like a day, and so did my mom. It's about this group of women, and they're going on a hen weekend because one of their friends is getting married. Like the whole book is kind of like out of everyone's point of view, out of all of the 5 girls I think, and it's crazy because they all have like their own secrets, but they're all like entangled, and it's like genuinely like a crazy story. It is more a like character driven story. even because like it's not really like they're trying to figure out a mystery or anything. At the end something does happen. It's mainly just like all the girls having kind of like issues within themselves, and it's just really good, and I feel like any woman would definitely enjoy this. The same author wrote The Castaways. I have it, but I haven't read it yet, but it's probably good, so why not read that as well. So the first one is Brutal Prince. So I've talked about this a lot recently. I read it in my readathon, and it's actually like such a banger. I had heard so many good things about it, but I was like, oh, it's probably like fine, but then I read it, it was actually really, really good. It is part of the Brutal Birthright series. I don't know how many parts it is, but it is just the first book. It had like 400 something pages, but I read it really quickly, and I know it was in my readathon, but still, I think if I wasn't in my readathon, I would have honestly still read it in like 1 or 2 sittings. I'm not joking, because it's, I don't know, it's just really like captivating. One thing, it's also full of smut. It has illustrated scenes, so maybe like watch out if that's not what you're into. Yeah, it's a mafia romance. Marriage of Convenience. It's good. This is my first mafia romance, and I started with a banger. The next one is She Teaches Him Right series. So it's a smut series, so if this is not for you, just skip to this time frame. But this is a series about basically the girls teaching guys how to like please women, because often men don't really know how to, or they have like a big ego and then they think they can but they can't. They are a bit intertwined, but what I did really like about the series is because I feel like if you mainly try to find something on Kindle Unlimited that's just full of smut, they don't really have a good connection, or at least it seems not real, like it seems like kind of fake and you're just reading it for the smut. But I feel like these people in these stories actually had like a better connection, and they actually liked each other, and they were willing to like pursue something after. They are all really short, so that also, they're all like 80 pages, so that definitely helps if you're a reading slump. That I read these when I was in my reading slump. And then the last series, because this is also a series, is the Mindfuck series. This is the Mindfuck series. I bet you've heard Lily all about it. It's basically about a serial killer and then the FBI agent, and they fall in love. But he doesn't know that she's a serial killer, but she knows that he's the FBI agent working on the case. So that obviously creates a lot of issues, also for her trying to kill the people, and for him because he's trying to find her, like the person who's doing this. And it's genuinely so interesting, and if you're like interested in crime, this is definitely something for you, because it was like a mix with crime and romance, and it was so good, and it was always drama. These books aren't too long. They're all like, I think like 120, 140 each. You can buy like the whole 6 books in like one big bundle. I still want to do that. But yeah, because all of these books are so short, you can get through the series quite quickly. But also because it's such an interesting concept, and you obviously want to know if he finds out and if she does something stupid or whatever. But yeah, those were all the books that I think would get you out of a reading slump, or at least a bit. Don't hate on me if it doesn't. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I haven't done this in so long, so I hope I did something. I know I didn't talk about the books in too much detail, but I feel like it's difficult because I don't want this book that's maybe going to get you out of a reading slump to be fully spoiled. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're still watching, comment this emoji, and I will see you when I see you.